we've got a border that's established. Okay, now what we're going to do is put a center line down. And that center line goes right down the middle here. Take it right up to the edge. And down to the edge over here. Okay. And again, we're going to be doing 2-point perspective. Okay, 2-point perspective.
How far down is the horizon line?
What's that?
How far down is the horizon line?
Right in the center. I got the horizon line right in the center. Okay, so again, let's write this down. Okay, so this is our horizon line. Okay, now what we're going to do is on the bottom here, on the edge, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a 3-inch square. Okay, so again, I'll start here as 1, 2, 3 inch. Okay, 3 inches here. And then I'll go up 3 inches. Okay, so we are 1, 2, 3 inches. Okay, so we got a 3-inch square right here. Okay, and that becomes our measuring system now. Because now, what I'm going to do is from this particular point, I'm going to go ahead and draw my line towards the vanishing point. Here's 1. I'll do the same thing for the top. Draw my line towards the vanishing point. 2. Okay, and why do I need the square? Because that square will help me find and determine where the back edges are. So right along here. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, don't go through your border. That's tacky. Okay, so now we can see exactly where I am right now. Okay, I got my 2 edges, and don't go beyond that. Matter of fact, when you guys do it, what I want you to do is do the square, okay, and we're going to do a diagonal, and what it's going to do is this system. This is where you use your compass. Holy cow! Okay, this is where you use your compass. All right, and that compass is going to go right up to the corner. Okay, and from that corner, this is a cheap little compass that I stole from my kid. Real cheap. Shoot. Okay, once again. Anybody got a real compass? Oh, 5 compasses going up. Here. You got one?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. All right, let's see what this one does. Oh, there's no lead in it. Okay, let me see yours. You got lead in yours?
Should have that later.
Oh, good. Thank you. All right, good. Again, this is the critical part because that makes the difference between right and wrong, being off 1/8 of an inch or being off 1/4 of an inch. Okay, good. Let's see how off. And you set it right there on the corner, and the goal is to take it from that corner. Where we go? Down. Oh, boy, quite a difference. Okay, good. All right. So the key is this intersection right there. Okay, here you are. Thank you very much. All right. Now, what that intersection does is when I draw my line across to my vanishing point, and notice this is too short. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and flip this over and make an extension. This point right there, okay, when I go ahead and take that point and take it to that outside vanishing point line right there, that's the key to the whole thing. All right? So what I want you to do is you're going to do a couple of underlays. One underlay will have your first cube on it, and it will have this square system and this arc. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to draw that square in red pencil. I want you to draw that arc in blue pencil, that arc and this little line below it. Okay, because that's the whole system right there. Okay, now what that does for me is where that point, that intersection is right there. When I draw a line from that intersection across to the other side, it gives me the center of my cube. Okay, because now when I go from this corner to my vanishing point, come on, where are you? Sit still. Okay. When I draw my line across here and my line to the other side, from here to the other side, now I've got the bottom square of my first cube. Okay? And so now if I go ahead and draw my lines from that particular point straight up and over here, straight up, okay, all of a sudden I've got my two sides of my cube, and then I can go ahead and take those two sides and draw them towards the vanishing point. So I got one corner right there, zap, and the other corner over here. Okay, so here's my first cube, all right? And that becomes my first underlay. So I can come here, square this up a little bit more. Okay, and my goal is to make this just like what you guys did. Make your lines nice and heavy on the outside, lighter on the construction lines are lighter. The cubic lines and everything else should be a nice heavyweight line. Okay, so that gives it a focal point. Okay, so we can see the cube right there. Okay, everything's straightforward. And the key in the formula is right this square and that arc. All right, this is your first underlay. Then you're going to go ahead and develop another drawing on top of that. Okay, and the key is to measure a series of cubes. Okay, so we're going to go straight up on this, right along here. I'm going to draw a line from here straight up to the top edge. There's one. From here straight up to the top edge. Okay, and this is, just imagine we're starting another underlay. All right, so right in the middle, I'm going to go ahead and, okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw another cube. And again, this cube is going to be 1, 2, 3 to right there. So it's going to be another cube that's down, that comes down from the top. And then I'm going to draw another cube right here in the middle. And this one's going to split the two, so we got 1.5 on the top. Here's 1, and 1.5 underneath. 1, 2, 3, 1.5. Okay, so I've got a 3-inch cube, okay, off the top, and the 3-inch cube in the middle. All right, and you'll see what I'm doing in a second. Okay, so here's my cube edge. Okay, cube edge. Okay, and then I'll do this one too. Cube edge. Okay, so you can see it's starting to develop. Here, I gotta go to opposite BP. Okay, I'll do the same thing over here. Okay, now I can go ahead and make my lines, make my edges a little bit thicker, heavier, so I can see that this one needs to go down in value. Okay, good. Oops, don't do that. Okay, so now all of a sudden I can see my line weights. Okay, and then again, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I want to build 4 more rows of cubes on the left and 4 more rows of cubes on the right, and also go straight up. So the easiest thing to do is to go ahead and build them on the ground first. So this is the ground plane. Okay, whoops. So the easiest way to do it is just go ahead take the back edge the back edge of that first existing cube and draw a line across the back side, just like what I did right now, and go straight across, and boom. This gives me the edges for my next cube. Okay, and I'll show you what I'm doing. So now I've got these two marks right along here. Later on you can go ahead and take some pictures of this, make it a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, I'll come across here. That line goes over this way. I can continue it. Okay, there's one, and I'll do the same thing over this way. Okay, there's another one. So now you can see I've got the makings of another cube over here. All right, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and run another center line on the backs of the next set of cubes or squares. Okay, you can see right here, I'm not going to the very back yet. I'm going to right there in the middle. So now right along there, I'll go ahead and draw a line. Okay, so that now all of a sudden I can see it intersects over here, and this one's going to intersect. Where are you? Come on. Okay, here's my next one. Okay, I'm going to do one more row, and then I'll go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and start subdividing. Okay, so we are right there. This one's right here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead the other way. Okay. So you can see it's starting, you can see a whole series of grids right there. Let me just put one more in the middle. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to go ahead and start building these up. And what I want you to do is to move every other square. So this is right here. Where's my top edge? Right there's one. Okay, so here is my next cube. And notice all the lines are going to the vanishing points. They're not just going off in space somewhere. All the lines are either vertical or going to the vanishing point. Nowhere else, all right? I saw that in my other class. And before I chew you guys out, I had to chew them out.